Hello friends, let us now talk about C logical operators. Logical operators are symbols that combine or modify conditions. They allow you to check multiple things at once, like if two conditions are true or if at least one condition is true. They are essential for controlling your program's flow in decisions and loops. We have common operators in C like the AND operator, OR, and NOT operators. Let's now see the difference between these three main types of operators with the help of an example. We are going to be seeing an example in which we have a lady trying to decide if she will marry a man if he meets two conditions. One, he should be at least 25 years old, and two, he should be rich. So I am going to declare two variables to begin with, which are going to store our two criteria. The first is the age of the man, which is going to be an integer. And for the sake of this example, I will give the age the value of 27. And after the age, we have a Boolean variable is rich, because we said the lady would like to marry a man if he is rich only. So is rich. For now, I will set it to false, which is represented by a 0. And before we continue, let me remember to import my Boolean library since we are making use of Boolean variables here. So the Boolean library is scdbool.h, which I have imported. Now, let's look at some conditions that we are going to check in order to determine if this given man is going to be accepted for marriage by our lady. We said she wants to marry a man who is at least 25 years old and who is also rich. So for that, we will write our if statement to check the condition. And then the condition for my if statement, there are two conditions which I want to check here. The first is going to be the age. We are checking if age is greater than or equal to 25. And then we have another condition which we want to check, which is if the person is rich. So in order to give my second condition, I will use a logical operator to combine the conditions. The first logical operator we are going to see is the AND operator, which is represented by two ampersand symbols. And then after this, I can write my second condition, which is rich. Is rich is a Boolean variable, so we can write just is rich, and it is going to automatically compare or find the value of is rich to see if it is 1 or 0. If we want, we can also give our conditions within parentheses to make sure that they are well separated or for it to be better readable. So I have my condition age greater than or equal to 25 within one set of parentheses, and then I have another set of parentheses for my is rich. This is not obligatory, but it is just to make us see clearly that we have two different conditions. So as I said, is rich, which is a Boolean variable. If you write the value is rich or the variable name is rich, it is going to be true if the value of is rich is 1, and it is going to be false if the value of is rich is 0. So for our AND logical operator, it is simply a logical operator which is going to compare the two conditions on its two sides. We have the left hand side which has one condition and the right hand side has another condition. So with the AND operator, it checks if the two conditions are true, and it is going to return a general true value. So it means for this whole condition which we are checking, it depends on the two sub-conditions inside. If both of them are true, the value returned is going to be true. But if at least one of them is false, then the value returned is going to be false. So I will write my set of braces. Now for the body of this my if statement, I will simply print a message that says if the husband or the man is accepted for marriage or not. While we will also add an else block to say if the man is rejected in case he doesn't meet the two conditions. Now let's run our program to see what the result gives. We see our result says sorry, you are not my type. This is because, as you can see here, one of the conditions is not met or is not true, because we check the condition is which, meaning that we are checking if the value of is which is true. As I said, when you write a Boolean variable just like this with the variable name, it checks if that variable is true or not, and we can see that is which here is set to false, which is not true. So let's now say, for example, the lady decides that instead of wanting a man to have all these two criteria, he should meet at least just one of them, meaning that he should be either greater than 25, greater than or equal to 25, or he should be rich, any of the two. So in that case, we will use another type of logical operator, which is the OR operator. I will change this my double ampersand to two straight lines. So my two straight lines here represent the OR operator, and the OR operator on its side is an operator that is going to return a true result if at least just one of the conditions on the true side is true, meaning that we are going to check the condition age greater than or equal to 25, and we will also check the condition is rich. Just one of them need to be true in this case, not all of them. So if any of them is true, then our lady is going to accept to marry this man. So let's now run our program and see. So here I have yes, I accept, because at least one of the conditions has been met, which is the age, at least the person is greater than or equal to 25. And let's change the value of is which from 0 to 1, and we will run again. Now the two conditions are going to be true, and we will see that the result is still true here. We see yes, I accept. Now what if this lady says she doesn't want two criteria to check again, but she wants the man to meet just one criteria, which is that he should be rich. If he is rich, regardless of his age, I'm going to accept the marriage. So in this case, we have just one condition which we are mainly interested in, which is the is rich condition. So I can completely wipe out this my first condition, age is greater than or equal to 25. And then I will also remove this internal parenthesis. So currently my value of is rich is equal to 1, which represents true, and I'm checking is rich in my condition, and if is rich is true, we are going to print yes, I accept. Now this takes us to the last logical operator we will see, which is the NOT operator. So the NOT operator is simply a logical operator that returns the opposite of what it was normally supposed to return. For example, here we have is which is set to 1, which means true, and then we also have our condition which we are checking is which. If is which, we print yes, I accept. So this condition is going to return a 1, which represents true also, because our value of is which is true. Now we can use the NOT operator to make sure that we are going to instead return the opposite of what we were expecting to return. Because is which is true, we are expecting to return a 1, but we can use a NOT operator by simply writing an exclamation point before our variable name is which, or before our condition. So if I say if not is which, we can see this exclamation point I have added before the is which variable name. This is going to now negate or invert whatever was supposed to be returned. Normally we are supposed to return a true, but now because of our NOT operator, we are going to return the opposite of true, which is false. So this means our condition now is going to be false instead of true, and that is because of our NOT operator. So in this case, we are going to see that this time around we are going to print the message sorry, but you are not my type, instead of yes, I accept, because we have already negated the result using the NOT operator. Now let's see what I'm talking about. And exactly we see sorry, but you are not my type. So guys, that is how to use logical operators in C. We have seen the use of the AND, OR and NOT operators.